Yes, indeed. Welcome into another episode of Total Hockey Now here on the Total Hockey Now YouTube channel. My defensive pairing partner for today is at Fuzzy Chris 91. He may be joined by our line mate at Ant Rivera 86 later, Anthony Rivera. I am at Pucking Thoughts, Adam Bernard, and here we go. And we're 2 Thursdays before Christmas here. It's crazy. Season's flying.
We are chugging away here. That's what it is. We're getting slowly but surely. We'll wake up in a couple of weeks and it'll be game 41. We'll be like, where is the time going? Then we'll start talking about playoff standings.
Before that, we'll have Olympics to talk about if they can play. If the player, we'll see ice quality, rink dimensions, all that stuff. Get to the Olympics later. In fact, later on today, we did Finland and Sweden last week. We're going to do a Team USA roster build today. Next week, we'll do Canada. Should be real fun to have Chris on that one as well. But first things first here, before we get to the Team USA roster build, and then coming up in about a half hour, we will do our 13-game run the board for the night. I've got picks from about half the slate. Not sure what Chris has. See, but definitely some stuff I like tonight for sure. But first thing I'd like to get into here is, a guy that I've picked up in a couple of fantasy leagues, and don't get me wrong, this is a deep league recommendation that I'm throwing out. This is one of the leagues I grabbed him in is a 12-team league where he plays 6 defensemen, just to give you an idea. And then the other one is a Fantrax salary cap dynasty league that I was able to get into through this podcast. And he's a lot at $4.5 million essentially. He's providing a little more bang for my buck. That would be John Marino. 2 goals, 14 assists, plus 13, 29 shots on goal. He's skating on the top pairing with Sergachev. No power play unit as of now, but he is on the power PK2 unit. And if Dursey or Sergachev were to get hurt, he'd probably be the guy to slide into that point spot. Not a big hits guy, but 30-plus blocks on the season, meaning he's trending to be close to 100 for the year. And last year, he only played 35 games due to injuries. So I'll say this. I think, is he an earth-shattering ad? No. But if you're in a deep league, and let's face it, yes, Charlie McAvoy's coming back tonight, but Adam Fox has been hurt. Thomas Harley just came back. Thomas Shabbat's out. Defensemen are getting banged up around there. So if you need a depth guy that and he plays 20 minutes a night too. So again, John Marino, if you need help in a deep league, that's a guy I've been picking up, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, listen, some people think that you got to add the sexy play every week, or you got to find that diamond in the rough. These are guys who help you win those category leagues. If you're in points leagues that reward you for these things as well, these are the type of guys who don't necessarily hurt you, but can definitely add value. Like if John Marino falls off the face of the earth, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't hurt your fantasy perspective from anywhere. If you are in a league that uses IR plus, that means you can put a player there that's day to day, that's not necessarily on IR. You can, move a player on IR when Marino's in action, you plug him in, and then, once you're done with it, you put it back, send them back on the roster. You basically treat them like, some teams treat their certain NHL players. They call them up just to make sure they're there. No, you don't need them to send them back. And I'm sure he won't take, Marino won't take it personally, not on your fantasy team. But these are guys who can help, especially guys, right? Defensemen who block shots, throw their weight around. And if they're adding in points, that's the bonus to me. That's the bonus. I want them to go out and get those peripheral stats, right? The things that sometimes your top players won't get. And then let my top players focus on racking up points.
And the fact that he skates on the top pairing with Sergachev means he gets the minutes. It's not quite like Devin Taves and Cale Makar, because there is no Cale Makar comparison, but same principle there, that he's just going to coattail ride some of what Sergachev does, and he's getting the opportunities at least on the top pairing. So a little bit of a deep league ad there. But let's get down the brass tacks here, because I have a feeling this one's going to be a lot tougher to do than Finland. It was just plugging the parts in that needed to be plugged in. Sweden was a little bit of a tougher time, but again, you kind of knew who the candidates there, because after the guys we did last week, you can go back and check those videos out, or both posted on the YouTube page. If you get to the Victor Arvidssons of the world, you kind of know Sweden's kind of maxed out there. But for Team USA, we're going to leave some names out that are bound to make people upset. I mean, we had people last week that were a little upset with us regarding having Leo Carlson as the fourth line center. Like, geez, easy.
I mean, listen, thank God none of us are in charge of Team Sweden.
Well, I mean, we were mostly positive, but somebody took offense to Leo Carlson being on the bottom pairing. But nonetheless,
Listen, I respect that person for being a Leo Carlson defender, though. You know,
listen, he's coming. He's almost there. Like he's pulling into the station. He has done a big part of why the Ducks have turned things around are because of him. So, but we will leave it there. Now, the way we like to do these, we like to build down the middle and then go on the outside. So with Team USA, it's Austin Matthews, it's Jack Eichel, it's Dylan Larkin, I guess JT Miller as your fourth line center. I mean, who else? I'd rather play Thompson on the wing than center. You know, I don't know who you could play. Trocheck maybe there if you wanted, but
I would probably I would start with Matthews and Eichel. That is like that's how it goes down the middle, right? Whatever way you want to. First of all, this is Team USA. There is no line 1 and line 4. There's just a bunch of studs that are going to try to figure out how to play with each other. That's basically what it is, okay? Don't take offense to it. Who did you say third there? Because that name was good.
Dylan Larkin would be a third line center in this.
Dylan Larkin is coming. Dylan Larkin is part of Team USA. Okay, a lot of people are sleeping on Dylan Larkin. I would bring Trocheck because I think that he has a value to that US team. He can play so he plays the power play for the Rangers. He can kill penalties if you need him to. He's a big face-off winning guy. Throws his weight around. JT Miller has played the wing. So, like, it doesn't, if he's comfortable doing that, I'd probably play Trocheck and Miller together just because that's what it is.
I didn't think we'd have any problems going down the middle there. And I agree. You're going to need a guy like Trocheck you're going to play Team Canada at least once. We're hoping twice. So you're going to need for Sweden, even like Switzerland, you need guys like Trocheck that, all right, yes, he can produce offensively, but like he's going to be that checking line center. That's your job. And he can do that well. And like you said, he's no slouch offensively. So you don't really lose anything. So I agree. Trocheck should be the fourth line center. Sorry, Brock Nelson. Probably not making the cut. Let's go through the wings now because, on the left side, you can go Jack Hughes on that top side, assuming he's healthy. They're Kyle Connor, you got Matt Boldy, some guys that play on the left side there, Jason Robertson, Brady Tkachuk, although I think Brady's probably going to be down with Vinny Trocheck on that bottom line, but we shall see. Nonetheless, who is it? Jack Hughes with Austin Matthews? We've seen them play together before. Why mess up a good thing?
Probably. You can play Jack on the wing. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. I think they're opposite-handed as well. I think Matthews is a righty and Hughes is a lefty. So, like, that too becomes important, right? Matthews can take the face off on his strong side. Hughes can take the face off on the other side. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with splitting those guys up or having them take, face offs on their strong side. There's nothing wrong with that. So, definitely, I would bring Jack Hughes. Jason Robertson has made a statement. If he's not on this team, I don't know what we do.
Well, he actually said being snubbed from the Four Nations face-off, that motivated him, and it worked.
It would. I mean, listen, he is out there doing everything he needs to do. So I would definitely bring him. Yeah.
So you want to put him with Eichel on the second line?
Wherever it needs
or Larkin
to be.
On the third.
I would probably play him with Larkin. I think I would want, looking at Jack Eichel, I would probably have Eichel play with Brady and Matthew. I want Brady and Matthew kind of have to play together, or at least that's how I'd want to deploy them, right? You can get hit from one side, you can get hit from the other, but you're taking a Tkachuk somewhere. You just don't know which one. You can move Brady up and down the lineup. Matthew Tkachuk, the same thing as well, but it's the physicality that they bring, and all three of those players can give you some good defense and also play against, go out there, play the opposing team's top lines and still generate offense, right? Like Jack Eichel is a fantastic two-way forward. Matthew Tkachuk has won back-to-back Stanley Cups. He knows how to do it. Brady is there for the energy. He's got some pop into it as well. He shoots the puck too a ton. So there's a whole lot of things there that you want to love.
Now, just like fantasy hockey, left wing is filling up quick. And I mean, there's a lot of guys. There's still, unlike fantasy, there's plenty of depth here for Team USA on the left side. Bottom line, though, is we are running out of spots here. So maybe let's focus on the right side a little bit here. So, like here's some names that are still out there: Jake Gensel, Kyle Connor, Matt Boldy, Cole Caulfield, Alex DeBrincat, Tage Thompson, JT Miller, Matthew Nyes, and I have Alex Tuck and Chris Kreider, but realistically, they're not making the cut. So, we got of those guys. Who are we replacing where next?
I would probably like Jake Gensel's got to come, right? Like he's got to be there. So I would probably place Gensel with Hughes and Matthews. Again, another guy who you can move right up and down the lineup. Jake Gensel can come in. He can play anywhere. He plays with, Kucherov and the rest of the gang, and it goes pretty well. But Jake Gensel deserves to be there. That is earned. I will also bring Kyle Connor. I thought it was criminal that the U.S. team in that gold medal game against Canada just went, no,
we don't need that.
We don't need that. That's not use, especially with the injuries to, Brady and the injuries, especially the injury to Kachuk. I'm not going to take anything away from Brock Nelson, but homie, like Kyle Connor is him. It was quite interesting for him for them to just be no. I would definitely bring Tage Thompson. And again, I would probably play with Robertson and Larkin. A big body, right? Can drive the net. He can score. He can pass. Lots of good things. Cotter, Trocheck, I'd probably finish that off with JT Miller just because I feel like he's got to be there.
So your boy Boldy's not going to be in the starting lineup.
I would bring
the Brincat.
Those guys. I do believe that Caulfield deserves to be part of this team. I don't know if he's going to play every night though, right? Or at least every game. And the reason is if I'm looking at some of these guys ahead of him, right? Like Caulfield is a great player. He could play 200 feet, and he's not just driven by what Suzuki does. But are you telling me that he's better than Jack Hughes? No. Is he better than, Jason Robertson? No. Is he better than Kyle Connor? No. Is he better than Jake Gensel? No. So, it's hard to find a spot for him. And then I don't want to bring Cole Caulfield there to play the defensive role, right?
Correct.
I don't want him to go out there and be like, hey, welcome here, try to defend, Connor McDavid and Nathan McKinnon. That's, you know what I mean? That's not his role. And that's not what I want him to do. And the same thing for Boldy. I think both those players will be part of this team because you could carry 13 forwards or something, 13 or 14. So if I could carry two extra ones, I'd probably carry Boldy and Caulfield. I would fill out that right side with Miller, and then Boldy and Caulfield and whatever.
See, I can't believe I'm gonna argue against the Ranger here. I think Alex DeBrincat has had a better year than JT Miller has, and can kind of play that same role a little bit where. He brings a little bit of a heavier game. Maybe that's not his A, but that's definitely his B. And, watching Miller this year, I mean, maybe he gets over to the Olympics and all of a sudden it just fires him up. But I don't know, man. I almost think the Brincat has played his way into that spot over JT Miller. If things had gone the way everybody expected coming into the year, then yes, I would say Miller over the Brincat, but I think he's kind of played his way there.
I just like that Miller has the dual position eligibility. He can play the power play. He can play the penalty kill. But at the same time, if he doesn't eat up the ton of minutes that he needs, he can still be effective. Maybe he does, some of these guys are going to play 10, 12 minutes a night. You know what I mean? That's way down from what they're usually playing, right? These guys are all elite players on their team, right? So you have to be able to bring guys and say, hey, this is the role we're giving you. And you got to be able to excel in that role.
So the compromise I'm going to make with you with the forwarded group here is you got to decide between Boldy or Caulfield because the Brincat's coming. So one of those two guys for the extra other forward spot.
I'm not leaving Cole Caulfield off this roster. Okay. Not leaving him.
So I mean, it's going to be weird when you go to the Minnesota Wild Christmas party this year.
Listen. Here's what I'm going to tell Matt Boldy. You absolutely wanted to bring the Brincat. That's it. I would.
So you're
if I'm on a flight with Alex the Brincat, I'm just gonna be like, buddy, listen. It's like, the gift you're giving is to Adam. It's certainly not to me, but.
Oh, so there we go.
Maybe DeBrincat ends up playing on a spot with Thompson. Maybe you move Tage down. I don't know. Maybe Miller doesn't make it, but
I think after Tage kind of got snubbed last time, I think you got to bring him this time. No,
I just feel like it's a lot to leave a guy who can play center, big body, skates well, right? Shorter ice, like he could contribute. He could contribute.
I'm not upset with that with those 4 lines. Those lines can roll all night, no problem. That's fine.
That's scary.
When Kyle Connor is left on the left wing on your 4th line, pretty good.
You're doing okay. You're doing okay, I think.
We'll see how Canada goes next week when we get to. Now we got to get to the defenseman here. Now Adam Fox at last check, I want to see when his update, if there's any update on his return here. I mean, is he going to be back for the Olympics? I mean, I don't think so, but
I would still have him there though. He makes this team if he can play.
All right, so how about we have him as the extra for the defenseman?
Okay, we'll put him as the extra. So somebody will get his spot for now. But I mean, Fox is there no matter what.
Adam Fox is going to be an extra just because we don't know health wise. And
can you bring 2 defensemen?
I think it's 3. I think it's 3 extra skater spots.
3 extra skater spots, regardless of what they are. Okay, that makes sense.
Maybe the Olympic. I mean, every tournament's different with what you can carry and what you happen. All right, so I guess we're starting Quinn Hughes here, left side.
That makes sense. He can get an early jump on playing with his brother Jack. I'd bring Zach Werenski. I think that's an easy one there.
Yeah.
Then it would, Charlie McAvoy is probably there as well. Jacob Slavin
back in the lineup tonight. Good for him.
Yes, his jaw's healed. To me, I feel like Jake Sanderson deserves to be there. He can play both ways. Jacob Slavin as well. I mean, Slavin was an absolute beast.
Slavin has to be. He's probably on the 3rd pairing, but he has to be.
He can play the role that you need him to play. He can eat up those big minutes, play against the opposing team's best players. You know what you're getting out of him. So nothing wrong with that.
All right, so let's look at so we got Quinn Hughes there. We have Adam Fox on the list as the extra. Werenski. You said Jake Sanderson, left side or right side? I forget about him.
I think he plays left.
Let's verify here.
I think he's a left-handed shot.
So there we go. So there's your 3. Now we said Charlie McAvoy on the right side there.
Charlie McAvoy on the right
for sure. And we said Slavin's got to take one of those slots. So we're already at last spot here. So I mean, candidates include Lane Hudson, Luke Hughes, Jackson Lacombe, Brock Faber.
I believe that they bring Seth Jones. I think they bring the experience, and that's what they want.
I think, I agree. I mean, you can make the argument for Luke Hughes just because, hey, you got a chance to have all 3 Hughes brothers on the same team.
Right.
And if Adam Fox is definitely not going to be there, for whatever, he can't return in time, then yes, I think I would agree. I'd probably take Seth Jones. I would move Slavin up. I'd make Seth Jones on the 3rd pairing there.
I feel like it's going to be Seth Jones. Not that Jackson Lacombe can't do it. I think it's important that he was that he was brought to this. I mean, Brock Faber has been a little bit all over the place. So he's having a little bit of a resurgence this year. It's going well, but where are you going to deploy him most nights, right? He's not playing the power play. I don't know if he can eat up those heavy minutes. I would love to see Lane Hudson go. I just don't think that they're ready. I don't think Team USA is ready for him and what he can bring. I think he can defend very, very well. He skates great, right? Great edges. He can definitely, he can play with some of those best players. The problem is you probably have to play him with someone who's a little bit more, I would say defensively responsible, but somebody who's going to play defense first. And I don't think they're going to pair him with someone like Slavin and have to give him those extremely tough matchups. I just don't think they're going to do it. So, and again, he's probably not going to quarterback any of the top units. That's going to go to guys like Hughes and, Werenski, as it should. So it's trying to complete the rest of your lineup with what you can bring.
And again, for anybody that might be catching this video in the middle and how is Adam Fox extra? Because of his health. And we agree that if he cannot go, it's probably Luke Hughes, right? over Lacombe, over Faber, over Hudson?
I would bring Hudson, even if he doesn't play, every game. I believe that even if the ice, the movement that he brings and the way that he defends, I know I sound like a homer here, but he can play with the best. He can defend, and one thing he can do is he can move the puck up ice. And the United States, there's a lot of guys on that team that can move the puck. Sanderson moves the puck. Werenski moves the puck. Quinn Hughes moves the puck. Those are guys. Those are puck moving defensemen. Lane Hudson as well can play both sides. He currently plays. He plays on the right. He plays on the right side as a left shot defenseman. So I know sometimes they want you to, right-handed shot on the right side, left-handed shot on the left. I get it. But a defenseman that can play both has some value in my mind. Just makes it easier to plug these guys into a lineup.
All right, perfect. So we've got our team, and like we said, Adam Fox would move. If Fox moves up, obviously Jones moves out, but then where are we playing Adam Fox in that scenario? I would have maybe put him with Jake Sanderson, move Sanderson over to the right.
I think Adam Fox would play with Quinn Hughes. I think that those two are going to have to play. Like, they're good enough skaters that they can compete with the best players in the world.
Side, so yeah, that would maybe bump McAvoy down, Slavin down.
Yeah, bump each guy one down. Even if you play like McAvoy and Werenski, that's still a great pairing. Like, McAvoy can complement Werenski super well, and then Sanderson and Slavin is still very, very good pairing defensively.
Now let's move on to the crease here. I mean, we know it's going to be Connor Hellebuck. We know it's going to be Jake Ottinger. It's that third goalie, though, that we can have a little bit of a discussion about. I mean, there's really no discussion to be had about those not being the top two guys there. In the past, we've said it's Thatcher Demko, injury prone. Jeremy Swayman was supposed to be that guy. I don't know. Spencer Knight. Has Spencer Knight earned his right to be on the team? I wasn't trying to rhyme there. It just worked out that way.
I think so. Man, he has posted some pretty good numbers. When the Chicago Blackhawks go on the road, they don't generate offense. They can't shoot the puck. They look like they forgot how to play hockey. And Spencer Knight has provided this team with the stability in net that they need. So again, he's probably never going to play, and that's unfortunate. But he gets to go over, have a great time with his family. Maybe he backs up one game. Gets to see what the smaller rink looks like. But I think he has earned it. It's not that it's like Demko is hurt, right? So maybe, I don't think the Canucks would be crying if, he had some time to go home and just, rest, let's say. And then it's not that Jeremy Swayman hasn't been good. It's just that Spencer Knight has been better.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to approach it there. And it's like, listen, nobody's going to sit here and make an argument for Thatcher Demko. I don't think anybody here is going to beat the drum loudly that Jeremy Swayman should go over Spencer Knight. I mean, they probably have equal teams playing in front of them right now. I mean, in terms of, blue lines and forward groups. But yeah, Spencer Knight has earned the right. So there we go. Looking through the top line, it's Austin Matthews centering Jack Hughes and Jake Gensel. Jack Eichel centering the second line between the Kachuk brothers. Third line, Dylan Larkin centers Jason Robertson and Tage Thompson. Fourth line, Vinny Trocheck. He's centering Kyle Connor and JT Miller. Extra forwards are Alex DeBrincat and Cole Caulfield. On the blue line, Quinn Hughes on the left side, Charlie McAvoy on the right. If Adam Fox is healthy, he would take that top pairing spot, and McAvoy would bump down onto the second pairing with Zach Werenski. Although for now we have Jacob Slavin on the right side. He would bump down to the third pairing with Jake Sanderson, with Seth Jones being there right now, but he would be the guy, the extra defenseman, if Adam Fox were able to play, which it is looking like he will, but you never know. You don't want to rush a guy back. The Rangers know their season hangs on him, so it's like trying to find that balance of giving him time off, but not giving him so much time off that, it starts to hurt you in the standings. I mean, the Metro right now, it's still Carolina, Washington. We'll get to that matchup in a few minutes here, but it's still the NHL, 3 out of the 4 divisions, like we've discussed, is pretty wide open right now. And then in the crease, Connor Hellebuck, Jake Ottinger, and Spencer Knight. Any buyer's remorse here? Anybody that we left out that maybe besides Lane Hudson, anybody else we should have thrown in?
It's sad that we couldn't find a spot for Matt Boldy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And if you were looking to add a little bit, see, the thing is like, maybe if you need more edge in your lineup, it's like, but you have the Kachuk brothers there. So that's going to give you a lot of edge to begin with. So, it's not lacking, that's for sure. But I mean, Matthew Nyes is another guy, but he might be the few of these guys we talked about, they're going to be on the next Team USA team, whether that's Olympics, Four Nation Faceoffs, World Cup, whatever the case may be. Some of those guys are going to start seeing their names go on there as, the next couple international tournaments. Like Jacob Slavin can't play his style of hockey forever. Charlie McAvoy, I mean, the guy's coming back from a broken orbital bone or whatever, cheekbone, whatever he had. That was pretty impressive. He's going to be back tonight in the lineup too. So good Team Finland, Team Sweden. You can check those videos out on the YouTube page. Next week's going to be Team Canada. Bring the popcorn because that man over there, he's probably going to piss somebody off. And that's an easy thing to do with Team Canada because Canada is one of those teams where their second unit would still beat 95% of the countries in the world. So, yeah.
You could build 2 Team Canadas and they'd probably meet in the finals.
Wow. It's that kind. Maybe not in the crease. Maybe you don't have that kind of depth.
Can we get somebody? Can we find a goalie with duo citizenship?
You're a far cry from Marty Brodeur, Patrick Waugh, Curtis Joseph being your trio. Like that doesn't happen anymore.
Only a couple of years, once upon a time, Carey Price was the goalie, for Canada, and you never had to worry about anything. You just, you showed up and, you knew that the GOAT was the net and you didn't have to worry about anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, listen, Jordan Bennington played out of his mind last year. He might have used up everything he had for that and the Bruins playoff run. Again, Logan Thompson, if he's getting the start tonight, we'll talk about him in a minute. Maybe that's the guy that can kind of anchor the ship for Canada in the crease. We'll see, but we'll find out next week on the 18th when we build a Team Canada roster. But we are just getting the 5:30 here. It's time to make it run the board here. We got a 13-game slate. Let's go. All right, folks, here we go. We have got a 13 games calendar tonight. Always enjoy running the board for you. I'm sure there's going to be a couple of games that Chris or I don't pick because, let's face it, it's a 13-game slate. But we will do our best to give you at least a lean from every game. First up on the docket tonight, we're going to start in Toronto. The San Jose Sharks taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs there. Starting goaltending matchup is going to be Dennis Hildeby against Alex Nedeljkovic. I guess Yaroslav Askarov still feeling some effects of his illness with the Sharks being on the back-to-back. Pittsburgh tomorrow, give him the extra day, get back to feeling 100% there. If you're looking to make a bet on the money line, either way, Sharks are plus 170 road dogs. The Leafs minus 205 favorites at home. Total is 6.5 here. Mr. Merez, do you have any plays or leans for our first game of the night, 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop?
I'm going to take the Leafs in regulation. That's the most I can stomach. When the San Jose Sharks go on the road, they don't generate offense. They do not shoot the puck. Their last game, they just got absolutely pummeled. And that was against the Flyers. Like, that's not, you can't let the Flyers come out and absolutely walk you. San Jose's offense outside of Celebrini and Will Smith is 0. They average under 24 shots a game, like in general, and then they go on the road and then it's worse. Their power play is not great. Not really a fan of Nedeljkovic. Heidebe's played well. The numbers are there. The Leafs are scoring goals as well. So the band is healthy. Things are going well. In regulation is where I'll stomach. I don't think they clear 6.5 because I don't think San Jose could score a goal tonight.
See, and you can get the regulation Leafs victory minus 140 over DraftKings. I'm taking the over in this one, 6.5. Because I think Celebrini wants to put on a show. I know there's not going to be much offense outside of him and Will Smith. And the Leafs probably win the game. I don't think Nedeljkovic is going to play a bunch of good games in a row. But I do think we'll get like a 5-2 result here, from Toronto. Again, everything trends towards the under the way things have been going lately. But Toronto does rank 6th in average goals scored per game. So they might do a lot of the work themselves here. I got the over this one. I got that at plus 110 at Caesars. So plus money. Why not? I think we'll get a show tonight. Next on the docket. Lightning at Devils, 7 o'clock Eastern. If you're looking to get that one on the money line, it is the Devils at plus 114 home underdogs. The Leafs, Lightning road favorites minus 135. Totals 5.5. Goaltending matchup for this one. Jacob Markstrom is confirmed for Devils. We don't have Tampa's yet. Daily faceoff showing Johansson. So maybe he's the guy, but I've got no player lean on this game. The Devils have not been good lately. Lightning have been strong, but just I don't know. Sometimes the Devils show up in places you don't expect. So I'm not touching this one. Also, no Timo Meier as he steps away from the team to deal with a personal matter. Evgeny Dadonov placed on the IR, the wrist injury. So things not going well for the Devils.
Is the over at 6 or 6.5?
The over on this one is at 5.5 or 6. It's 5.5 most books. You can find a couple of 6s.
5.5. Oh my God, we're smashing the over. What in the world? Jacob Markstrom is starting. That is 3 goals for the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's just 3 straight up. The minute Jacob Markstrom's in net, pencil in at least 3 goals. He is not putting together a good season. 348 goals against average, 880 save percentage. I'm old enough to remember when all of us thought that Jacob Markstrom coming over to the Devils would solve their goaltending issues. It is not. Tampa Bay can score goals. I know when they go on the road, it's not as sexy. I know they're dealing with a bunch of injuries. It doesn't seem to matter. So these teams have already met a couple of times. The first time they met, 8 total goal scores. Devils won 5-3. 5-1 the last time they met, Tampa Bay winning that game. So this seems like a lot of goals are going to be scored tonight. So I would take the over probably at the 6 if that's better value. But if 5.5 is still there and it's tolerable, I do.
You can get 5.5 minus 128 at FanDuel right now. If you're looking for a 6, those are going for more of minus 105, minus 110, depending upon the.
That's what I thought.
So there you go. So over 5.5 there. No play for me. Lightning Devils. Chris does make a compelling argument to take the over there. Next up on the board, we got the Hurricanes at the Capitals, another 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop. This is a matchup of the 2 top teams in the Metropolitan Division right now. It's going to be Brandon Bussi going against Logan Thompson. We're looking on the money line here for the Hurricanes, minus 115. Slight road favorites to the Capitals, minus 105. Total is 5.5 here. Got a regulation vibe on either of these teams. Good for you. Plus 125 for Carolina, plus 145 for the Capitals. I'm going with under 6 here, which I got minus 105 at BetMGM. Bussi has a 9-1 record, 209 goals against, 908 save percentage, and a shutout. Logan Thompson, 13-6-2, 1.96 goals against, and a 925 save percentage and a shutout. Carolina has gone under this total in 4 of their last 5. Washington has gotten under or a push this total in 4 of their last 5. So, and also now both of these teams do rank in the top 5 in average goals scored per game. But Washington is also second in average goals allowed in the good way, and Carolina 11th. There's a battle for the top spot in the Metro. Definitely, I like the under here, and I like that I found it at 6 and not 5.5 in case you do get a 4-2 final. I think under is the way to go.
Everything you just said, that's what we're doing. That's exactly it. This is a good goaltending matchup. If you don't enjoy good goaltending matchups, my apologies. But this will be a good one. You should watch it. You should see. You're going to see a tactical defensive style out of Rob Brendamore's team, Spencer Carberry's team as well. Going to be very tactical in the way that they do things, but it's going to be a good game. I want to see these goalies go at it.
Yeah, low scoring doesn't always mean boring. Sometimes low scoring just means it's a tight, physical, not much room to move, and any time that somebody does get some room, it gets snuffed out immediately. That's just how it is with these teams. How long do we think Carolina is going to keep going with this goalie 3-way rotation here? At some point, like, what are we doing?
Listen, at some point they got to figure out that Freddie Anderson is old. I think they've gotten away with it this far because he gets hurt every year. So it's like, he ends up on IR. So it makes things simple, I guess. But Bussi is the guy. Like, he's him. Even if you want Kochetkov to be it as well, you could maybe split starts between them. But Freddie Anderson is just the odd man out. And as a person who follows a team that once had a 3-headed monster, nobody likes it. as a team currently with a three-headed monster, nobody likes it. So they got to figure it out. Whatever they do with Freddie Anderson, they're not going to they're not putting him on waivers. They're not, you know what I mean? Maybe you can find a trade partner for him. I mean, listen, and
I know
if you're a goalie,
but
listen, if you're a goalie, man, you may end up in Edmonton. Just, get his work visa, lined up just in case.
I thought maybe that's an option depending on how things here go with the Hurricanes, but both of us on the under 6 there. So not a bad way to go. Senators, Blue Jackets up next, another 7:00. There is no shortage of 7:00 puck drops tonight. Look, if you're looking on regulation lines, because I already have that tab open, plus 120 for Ottawa, plus 150 for the Blue Jackets. Traditional money line play. Ottawa road favorites at minus 122. Columbus plus 102. The total 6.5. Goaltending matchup in this one is going to be, as we scroll down, is Elvis Merzlikins versus Linus Ullmark. I'm staying away because the Senators have lost 5 or 6, but they're somehow the favorites, and I understand Merzlikins is in that. But he's like a 50-50 shot to give you a quality outing. So maybe the over is the way to go here if I'm going to have a lean, but I've got no play here.
That's exactly where I'm going. 2 terrible goalies. I employ one of them. Every time he plays, I'm like, this is a good spot. Gets absolutely lit up. And I'm like, man, I'm old enough to remember when people thought Linus Ullmark would come over to the Senators and just backstop their goaltending issues. That has not been the case this year. He is not good. And Elvis Merzlikins is, man, he is terrible. So there's enough skill on both those teams to fill the back of the net. That's what I expect both of them to do tonight.
Get the over 6.5 minus 105 at FanDuel or DraftKings, right? So, still there, minus 105 for over 6.5. So, pretty as close as you can get to even money. So there we go. Maybe you've convinced me to take the over there as well. Next up, we got the Canadians at the Penguins. No, I wanted to play the over when I first looked at the matchups for today yesterday. I'm like, if Montembeault or Dobes goes, I want the over. But with Fowler getting the start tonight, sometimes you see teams that haven't seen a goalie before. They do well, or the goalie does well because there's not much of a book on them. They aren't familiar with them. So Tristan Jarry's been serviceable lately. He's going to be going in the other net there. Penguins minus 130 home favorites, total 6.5, plus 110 for the Canadians there if you want to take them on the money line. But this is why sometimes you wait until the goalie, sometimes the night, but you can sometimes figure out goalie matchups the night before, back-to-backs, or just a pattern. This is a perfect example sometimes why you wait for the goalie announcements to come out, because I'm not touching this now with Fowler.
Yeah, I was arguing with a degenerate on Twitter who thought that the goaltending, because Marty St. Louis didn't want to confirm who was starting, and we're like, but listen, Fowler's not here to visit the beautiful scenery of Pennsylvania. Like, that's not what he's here for. You're not, if you want to get a look at him, if you wanted to know how his progression was going, you could have taken a trip over the bridge north and watch him play live. You want to see what he can do at the NHL level, right? The goaltending has been a mess. He's not a savior. And this is not a great spot for him. Let's not get it twisted. He's coming in to play, and he's got a terrible defense in front of him that can't play man-to-man. But all that being said, I will take the under here because Fowler comes into this with absolutely nothing to lose. And if you're a believer in superstition or trends, the last Montreal Canadian goalie to get a start against the Pittsburgh Penguins in his first career game was just a random guy named Carey Price. Nothing of, future Hall of Famer. The one before him, by the way, was Patrick Waugh, another Hall of Fame goalie.
Did you enjoy the message I sent you about the numbers as well?
Yeah.
30.
Yeah. Those are all good, right? He had to wear 32 because he literally can't wear any other number. And the goalie before that, who also got his first career start against the Penguins, like Ken Dryden. If you get your first career game against the Penguins, chances are you're going to end up in the Hall of Fame at some point. Now, it's a little early for Fowler to get there, but if anything, he provides consistency in goal because, Dobes has lost it. You could see a couple of his goals. They weren't good. He's leaning too far. He's kind of swimming in his paint. And then Montembeault comes in and looks even worse. So this is his. This is an opportunity for him to come out and say, hey, this is where I'm at. If he gets rolled over, well, then, it is what it is. But listen, he's going to get the opportunity here. He's not going to squander it. I am locked into this game tonight. Locked in. I'm going to need multiple screens tonight.
And the thing too is, I know it's a little early to look at division standings, but first place Red Wings 37 points, last place Sabres 28 points. They're right in the middle at 30. So you need to know what you got. You need to know if Fowler is going to be an option for this team to compete for a playoff spot, because like we've already talked about with Dobas and Montembeault. And if he's not, then maybe come trade deadline time, who knows if if those two guys don't figure out. But you need to know what you got, because you're in a division where, like, the only team that you would confidently say is probably not going to make the playoffs out of that division this year is the Sabres. That's it. Even Ottawa. Ottawa made the playoffs last year. Why can't they put it together and get close enough? You know what I mean? So the time is now to figure these things out.
And that division is so close. You can't be giving away points. They lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning, who went back-to-back games without a goal. You cannot give up wins to division opponents. You can't do it. They're 4-point swings. So you got to find first goalie to stop the puck. Sticks around. That's basically it for me. If Fowler can figure it out, he's going to get one start. I don't think he starts the game in New York. I don't think they'll let him go back to that. I think Montembeault is going to get the net there, depending on how circumstances go tonight. But this is an opportunity for him. I think he comes out. I think he plays well. I think the Montreal Canadiens want to provide him with that support. So I'm going to go with the under here. Yes.
Just a point on the difference between the top and bottom spots for all four divisions. So 9 points in the Atlantic, 7 points in the Metro.
Jesus.
23 from Colorado to Nashville in the Central. The Pacific is 14 from Anaheim down to Vancouver. So that's not anything to sneeze at either. Because the Ducks
that's not bad.
It's not bad. But I mean, it's not Colorado, Nashville.
But even 9
the other night.
Even 9 and 7 though. Those are slim margins here.
From first to eighth. Yeah.
Those are slim margins. We've usually seen much bigger than that. Maybe not Colorado lead, but you're telling me if you lose 4 games in a row, you could go from first to last in a division. That is something.
Like, as bad, we've talked about the Rangers up and down season. They're 5 points out of first place. So for all the bad stuff that happened in October, they're 3 victories out. So
go get those wins, man. Go get them.
A team that's been on the rise and now sits in third in the Metropolitan Division, the New York Islanders, they're going to be hosting the Anaheim Ducks tonight. I almost said mighty. They are no longer mighty. Ville Husso against David Riddick. Well, they've been mighty in the league. They're just not mighty on the business cards there. Looking on the money line there, Islanders slight home favorites -115, Anaheim -105. Total is 6.5. You're looking for a regulation victory from either of these teams. +155 for the Ducks, +115 for the Islanders. I'm taking the Ducks money line. I got that even money at Caesars. And I understand the Islanders are hot. 4 or 5 victories, 2 victories over the Lightning and victories over Vegas and Colorado. Things are great in there. The one commonality in that stretch is they won all the Ilya Sorokin starts. They lost the David Riddick start. Now, he's not been playing bad. 2.65 goals against, 901 save percentage, 6-3-1 in his 10 starts. But he has lost his last 2. And with the way Sorokin's playing, if I see a chance to maybe go at the Islanders here, with a division leader coming to town, they're riding off a good victory the other night. Ville Husso, 44 saves. Got that, got it to overtime with 0.1 seconds on the clock. Then go get the point in the shootout there. He's very sharp in that outing. It's his 8th straight start because Dostal injury and Mrazek, although he's apparently going to come back soon, Lucas Dostal. So good news for somebody like me that's got him in 5 of 8 fantasy leagues. But Husso's 5-2 in that stretch. I'd also lean over in this one, but I like the Ducks on the money line here. I got with even.
I can't trust Ville Husso. Not in this economy. I can't trust the Ducks on the road.
His recent resume suggests otherwise. I get it.
I can't trust the Ducks on the road, man. Listen, I will say this publicly. I owe an apology to the New York Islanders. I was unfamiliar with their ability to be fun. This year
they're a fun team this year.
Yeah, they are. I saw a statistic. They are no longer a dump and chase team. They actually, they maintain possession of the puck. They are, I think, 3rd in ozone, entry possessions. This is a good team. They're good. They're fun. They, that's it. You've heard it here first. They are a good team. My apologies to the 75 Islander fans. Your team is fun to watch.
No, it just listen. Matthew Schaefer is going to be the most popular hockey player in New York. Give him like another season, and he's going to be more popular than any Ranger or any Devil. It's just how it's going to be. And that very much annoys me as a good for that friend. The Islanders needed a guy like that. Like they haven't had a player like that.
Ton of personality, but even the outside, like Barzell is out there being the exact player we thought he could be.
Bo Horvat is turn back the clock.
He's stuffing the net. Like he can't make Team Canada, but like he's so, you know what I mean?
I'll
like
take
it's not, dude. I'm sorry.
I take him on Team USA.
I don't think he's got a dual position.
No, he doesn't.
He's staying here. But like, you know what I mean? Like Bo Horvat has just showed up out of nowhere, and you're just like, yeah, like this team is a lot better, and the pieces are working, and defensively they're fine. All of a sudden, like Patrick Waugh's figured it out. It took him a minute, but this team is like they're here now. They're starting to be good, and they're starting to be fun to watch. So unfamiliar with your game, Islanders, but I am now.
Chris is I got the Ducks money line here. Chris, no official play on this one.
I will take the Islanders money line.
You're going to take the Islanders.
All that to say, I will take the Islanders money line. I'm not trusted Billy Husso here. God,
I can't believe I am, but here I am.
Here you are. One of us will be right. Somebody will.
And this is one thing I will say about the Metropolitan. Clearly, Carolina and Washington are going to be in that mix, and we all knew the Devils would be there last year. You know, being without Hughes didn't really burn them because there was no real third team to screw with them. Islanders playing well. Penguins have played well. Flyers, I know you were trashing them a little bit earlier. We're going to get to them in a second here, but they're not a bad team. They may not be a good team yet, but they're not a bad team anymore. They can hang out most nights. The Rangers, TBD, we'll see. Columbus, they maybe not have the same mojo as last year. But we'll talk a little bit about the Blue Jackets future time. We got the Golden Knights at the Flyers here. It's going to be Akira Schmid going against Dan Vladar. Probably a very smart move not starting Carter Hart tonight and letting that become a whole sideshow here. If you're looking on the money line, Flyers plus 124 home dogs, Vegas minus 148 road favorites, totals 5.5. If you're looking for a regulation victory, Flyers plus 175, Vegas plus 105. I've got no play in this one. Vegas, you know, last against the Islanders the other night, they managed to get the point to get it in the shootout there. Yeah, I got no play on this one. Maybe I would lean under, but nothing for me.
I don't care about this game in every sense of it. I just probably best to just if you're a Knights fan or a Flyers fan, you're probably tuning into this game for other reasons. But I do not care about this game one bit.
All right, so for the first time tonight, for the 13-game slate, we have no recommendations for you. Sorry. We're not going to get one for all you. We move into the 8 o'clock Eastern window now with two of the worst teams in the league. You know what? With that matchup here, you know, that deserves this again.
Yes, it does. Listen, you're not getting a play for me on this one, boy. This is what a matchup this is. God.
You're going to get one from me, and I can't believe I'm making the argument for them, but I'm going to take the Predators money line, minus 120 at BetMGM. I am going to regret this later.
You must hate money.
We'll see. If you believe in patterns, basically the Blues have alternated 2 wins, 2 losses over their last 8, so they're due for a loss on that pattern if it continues. Yeah, it's 2 bad teams meeting, and it's their first meeting of the season. They're going to play again, I think, on Monday. Give me Nashville at home. I don't want to use the term turn the corner, but they have been playing better lately. They've won 3 of 4 and 5 of their last 7. UC Saros is 4-1 in his last 5 starts. This is a gut play here. This is more of like a quarter of a unit. But why not? Something needs to make this game interesting.
Turn it off.
I mean,
that's the best way you can make this game interesting.
There are better
I bet against the Blues 2 nights in a row. Those are the 2 games they won. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with this team. Joel Hofer stood on his head in Ottawa. And I was like, well, there's no way that they're going to walk into the Bell Center on, playing 3 games in 4 nights on the tail end of a back-to-back. And then they did. And I was like, you know what? This team is a mess. So I just want nothing to do with that. Trusting the Predators in general can't be fun. Can't be healthy.
Well, we'll find out. See, but I like it. Bruins at Jets, 8 o'clock Eastern. Starting goaltending matchup here. By the way, is Eunice Corpusalo going against Eric Comrie. If you're looking to play, they just took the board, so let's refresh here. All right. So for this game, Boston plus 130 on the money line. Winnipeg, a heavy minus 155 road favorite, a home favorite, excuse me. Despite the fact that Charlie McAvoy's coming back tonight, total is 6.5 if you want a regulation play here for either of them. A regulation victory, Boston's plus 190, Winnipeg minus 105 here. Like I said, Eric Comrie going to get the start. I'm going to take the Bruins on the money line plus 125 here. They've won 3 in a row and 4 of their last 5. Winnipeg has dropped their last 2. And their 5 wins since the beginning of November have come against Calgary, Columbus, Nashville, and Buffalo twice. I don't love Corpusalo starting, who's 1-3 over his last 4 starts, but I'll take the chance here. Winnipeg only 7-6 at home this season.
Yeah, I'll follow you there. I'll go with the Bruins there. It's not that I think they win. I just think the value there is too good, right? You're getting some pretty good value on the Bruins money line there. They've been a good team. They can generate a little bit of offense. The return of Pasternak's in the lineup. McAvoy is likely to play, so that helps their team quite a bit. Like you said, the Jets have been just kind of floundering here a little bit, and it's not necessarily Comrie's fault, but the team's lacking a little bit of consistency. I like you. I wish it wasn't Corpusalo, but we're gonna need the Bruins to lock in here and do their part.
Do we look at an overplay with it being a Corpusalo Comrie matchup here? I mean, right now it's at 6 or 6.5, depending upon where you
like. The Bruins have been in a lot of high scoring games of late, so like sitting at 6.5 just seems like it's apropos. It should be there. My fear is that neither team scores 3 goals, kind of thing, to help maybe that 1 goal push it to overtime. It's not enough for me to go there. Boston in their last 3, right? They popped 5 against St. Louis twice. They popped 4 against Jersey. I'm pretty sure Jacob Markstrom started that game, so you get a guaranteed 3. They popped 4 in a loss to Detroit. It's not enough to take the over. Also, the Jets don't necessarily generate a ton of scoring chances. They are lucky more than they are good right now.
By the way, NHL Network, I keep it on in case there's any breaking news. They just flashed the graphic about Bo Horvat. He's on pace for an 82-game pace, 50 goals, 32 assists.
Yeah.
Insane. Even if he cools off that pace, fine. He scores 40 goals. Great.
Imagine scoring 40 goals and playing for the Islanders. Like, that's wild.
Times are changing, my friend. The Islanders are not your father or grandfather's Islanders.
No, they are back to being fun.
Maybe your grandfather's Islanders because they were much, but nonetheless, we are 4 games to go. One more in the 8 o'clock Eastern window here. Dallas Stars at the Minnesota Wild. At your goaltending matchup for tonight, that's going to be Jake Ottinger versus Philip Gustafson. Looking on the money line here, Stars minus 130 road favorites. Minnesota plus 110. Totals 5.5. No official play from me here, but I lean under. Strong goalie matchup. Both teams are going to be tough to play against, but they also have the firepower to, like, this to me is almost like when Winnipeg and Dallas play each other, where if you bet the under, you're going to win 3 out of probably every 4 times, but that 4th time is going to burn you. Like it was 4-3 the other night. So this could be one of those scenarios here. So I lean under, but I stay away.
I same thing. I would have felt better if this was inverse. If Dallas was playing at home, the Wild on the road don't necessarily generate a ton of scoring chances. They struggle a little bit to get the puck to the net. Like you said, right? These are 2 good goalies, but the firepower on each side is just right there, and it can burn you at any given moment. Like the minute the Dallas Stars are on the power play, like I start sweating because it means Wyatt Johnson's picking up an assist and Jason Robertson's popping another one. So I'm also going to stay away from it just because I feel like it's not enough. This could end up being a good goalie battle, or we get into one of those goal scoring fests where everybody is touching pucks, packing points.
This is probably your matchup of the night. I know you're all over Canadians, Penguins, but like you said, you need multiple screens tonight. This is one of the reasons you need multiple screens tonight, as well as Hurricanes, Capitals, and for me, Sharks, Leafs. I think could be entertaining. But so there we go. So no Price is Right horn here because we gave you a lean, no official play. It wasn't like the
And it's
Vegas,
not that
Philly,
they're bad teams. They're just, you know what I mean? There's no real edge on each side. It's a
yeah.
coin flip. So
This is kind of like almost like a Washington Carolina West matchup, if you
yeah.
parallel. So there we go. So moving on here, we got 3 games to go. Now we're in the 9:00 Eastern window, looking at the Red Wings and the Oilers. If you want the Red Wings on the money line, plus 154, Edmonton minus 185 home favorites. Total is 6.5. Starting goaltending matchup here. It's going to be Stuart Skinner. John Gibson went last night, so we assume Cam Talbot's going to get the nod tonight in Edmonton. You're looking for a regulation win. Edmonton minus 125 to give you an idea of how books feel about Edmonton's chances to win tonight. Plus 220 for the Red Wings. If you think the puck line's a way to go for Edmonton, you could get that at plus money, plus 136 over at DraftKings right now. What do you got?
The Oilers are playing their second in as many nights, I believe. So I know the Red Wings are. The Red Wings blocked over 20 some odd shots yesterday. They played the Calgary Flames.
They
they
almost blew. They had a 4-0 lead,
and they almost
blew it in the third period.
They almost blew that lead. But the Red Wings, they I get Calgary is at home. They play better. Yes, but you should not be blocking 20 some odd shots. That's just, you know what I mean? That's too many shot attempts. So the Oilers are talented. When McJesus is on the ice, things happen. So I'm going to take the over here. One, because you cannot trust Evan Bouchard in any situation. He will turn the puck over, and it's just so bad. Stuart Skinner is the same thing. There's so much firepower. The Oilers' power play now started to cook again. I think they could take care of the Red Wings here. The Red Wings power play as well, still pretty good. There's a lot of firepower on both sides here. So I'm going to take the over because I cannot swallow the Oilers' money line. Even their in regulation one. I can see the Oilers falling behind because it's just how it goes. But I'm certainly not trusting Cam Talbot. He has been on a downward spiral, and apparently I had tweeted that I was like, when did John Gibson become elite? And then he gave up 3 goals. And I was like, oh, well, that was a facade. There's more than enough goals to go around in this game from everybody. So I'm going to go with the over here.
And that's what I have written down as well for all the reasons you listed. I mean, all you really need to know is they allowed 3 goals in a period and last night to the Flames. That alone would be a reason to just take the over in their next game. But Edmonton ranks 7th in average goals per game. Detroit's 13th. Red Wings are 25th in goals allowed at 3.32. The Oilers are at 28 at 3.47. I know Stu Skinner's had a good stretch here. How long can Stu Skinner play well before the other shoe drops and brings him back down to earth? Edmonton can easily do the bulk of the work here. You mentioned both power play units here. Detroit, 8th most penalty minutes in the league. So they got to be careful tonight. Edmonton's a little bit better, 21st in the league in terms of penalty minutes taken. But if both teams make trips to the box, the power plays are going to make them pay on both sides. Neither team has a great penalty kill.
Load it up, man.
There we go. So that's the second time we both jumped on either a play or an over. We both got the Bruins money line. We both got the over here. Was there one more that I'm thinking about? That we under 6 in the Hurricanes Capitals game. So there we go. So we got 3 totals that we're channeling Tony Rivers here. Yes. with the total here. 2 more games to go. As we welcome you into the 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific hour here on Total Hockey Now. Scroll back for any of the earlier games. Talk Team USA lineup builds. I gave you a deep fantasy league defenseman had to consider. Now we got the Florida Panthers at the Colorado Avalanche, the 2-time defending champs, taking on the best in the league, the undisputed best in the league right now. 9:30 Eastern puck drop for this one because this is the ESPN Hulu back half of the doubleheader. The Vegas Phillies, the early end for that one. Starting goalies for tonight, it's going to be Mackenzie Blackwood versus Daniil Tarasov. I thought they would have gone Tarasov 2 in a row, played him last night, and saved Bobrovsky for tonight. I was wrong. They end up using Bobrovsky last night. We're looking for a money line play there. Heavy home favorites, Colorado minus 238, Florida plus 195. Road dogs on a back-to-back. They beat Utah last night 4-3 in a close one. Total is 6.5 here. We're looking at a regulation play. Florida plus 285 for the victory. Colorado minus 165. I lean Avalanche puck line here, but I got no play.
That's where I'm going. Avalanche puck line. Colorado hasn't lost in regulation at home. They have 2 total regulation losses. We are midway through December. I know they lose in overtime, but I mean, Colorado at home is a different beast, and the Panthers are down quite a they're down their key players. Let's not try to stack this any other way. They fought Utah hard, but it's just not enough, man. Nobody's slowing down the Avalanche right now. Nathan McKinnon is shooting the puck 6 times. Like, he's averaging over 6 shots on that. Like, it's ridiculous at this point how good this Colorado team is.
You can get plus Avalanche on the puck line is plus 105 at most books, plus 108 FanDuel, plus 110 at Bet365. That's going to be the best play there for that one. So you've even that was my lean, and now you've talked me into it. So I'm gonna be placing that bet here momentarily before we get through it. We got one more game to get through here, and we've run the board for 13 games. Sabres at Canucks here. Sabres coming off they're playing. I think their last game was against. They played Edmonton last night. That's right. 2 nights ago they played Edmonton. Alex Lyon getting the start versus Thatcher Demko here. Looking on the money line, minus 105. Sabres slight road favorites, minus 115. Your total is 6.5. You're looking for a regulation victory, plus 140 for Vancouver, plus 135 for the Sabres. I've got no play, but I lean Canucks money line because of Demko.
No Elias Pettersson. It doesn't sound like Brock Besser is going to play either. That Canucks lineup is it's basically an AHL lineup. The Sabres are already an AHL team. I would take the under there. It's sitting at what, 6.5?
Yes.
Yeah, there's no way these two teams are scoring 6, 7. Sorry, 6, 7. There's no way these teams are scoring. There's no way these teams are going to combine to score 7 goals. It's not going to happen. So there's just not enough firepower on the Sabres side, and the Canucks have there's nobody there offensively. There's nobody there. If I'm pretty sure Brock Besser, they're worried about his appendix, so that sounds like he's not going to play. Elias Pettersson's already been ruled out. He's very doubtful. So if you're in the Vancouver area, man, you got your bag in the car. Show up to the arena. You might get a 4th line shift.
Under 6.5 is minus 130, where it's still 6.5. If you think the 6 is a better play, get it minus 105 at multiple spots there. There you go. So Chris is going to take the under. Which way do you want the 6 or 6.5? Think about it.
6. I go with the 6.5.
And then he's going to buy the extra hook.
I'll buy the extra half in case one of these teams scores an empty net goal and ruins our lives.
So the other night, and on Tuesday night, you had 4 games in the NHL that all went to overtime with under 14 seconds to go. That blew my mind, because you had Colorado tied it up with 8 seconds to go. They end up losing in overtime. Talked about the Ducks, 0.1 seconds to go. McDavid forces overtime with 1 second to go. And then Vegas forced overtime against the Islanders, 14 seconds to go. So
every second matters. Every second matters in hockey. You got to play a full 60 minutes.
I mean, last night I lost a Kings regulation bet because Seattle tied it up with 24 seconds to go. So again, got to play the whole game.
Me too. I woke up and I saw it, and I was like, you know what? I went back to bed angry. It was 3 a.m. when I looked. I was like, hey, what happened to the Seattle and Kings game? And then I saw that first of all, the Kings took 7 penalties yesterday. I mean, I know
they tied the game on the power play, of course.
I know real estate, in LA is expensive, but Jesus, you don't have to rent out the penalty box, for crying out loud. God.
It's Seattle. Why are you taking so many penalties? Why are they getting under?
Yeah, what are they driving? They don't generate anything. Just send them into the corner or something.
Yeah, that was a disappointing one. If I'm gonna lose a bet, I'd rather just know it in the second period, that shot
right off the rip. Just make 3-0 early in the first kind of thing, and you're like, hey, I can move on. My mental health is down bad, but I got time to recover. You know what I mean? Here I am waking up at 2:30 Eastern in the morning, go to the bathroom. My iPad is like, thank you for watching this game. I was like, I didn't watch a single, I watched half of the first period. I fell asleep. And then when I checked the scorecard, I'm like, what is this?
Tried to get that regulation. It wouldn't have mattered anyway, even on the money line. But nonetheless, that happens sometimes. But that does it for this Thursday's 13-game pucking preview, like we mentioned, go back earlier in the show for Team USA, roster and line projections and defensive pairings, as well as the goalie tree. And then, of course, a little bit of a fantasy recommendation. You can watch Sweden and Finland. Last week's episode, those videos are up as well. And we'll be Team Canada next week. How many games we got next Thursday night? Because that's going to be our last Thursday for 2025. We've already got to the last Thursday. We're not coming on Christmas Day. That's not happening. We'll probably come to you that Tuesday before Christmas, though, and run the board. That's going to be a big night. Next week, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Thursday. So 10. Nice round, usual. Good
Fantastic slate.
Now, don't forget at Ant Rivera 86. He was not able to join us today, but please check out his Subway to Shea podcast. Nothing going on with the Mets lately. Not like they're losing free agents left and right. No reason to check out at Subway to Shea right now. There's not a lot of angry people.
I was going to say, he's, he's taking care of his child. He's not going to the dentist, but maybe he's trying to explain, to his son, being like, hey, man, like there was once this generational closer on our team. And, there was this player we called the polar bear and, he won the home run derby, but those will be all mythical legends to his son, unfortunately.
This is purely speculation that I'm just throwing at the wall and we'll see what sticks. I think the reason he's watching his kid today is because he's having an existential dilemma of whether to raise his kid a Met fan or not. I think that's the problem. And he's really pondering it over. You ever watch Seinfeld? George goes to the beach on the pier and he's got to think that's where he does his best. Like that's where Anthony is right now. He's thinking about, do I raise my son a Mets fan? It's going to be, if it's going to be the Will Ponds all over again, do I do this? If my daughter's not into football, she kind of likes the 49ers because her grandmother's a 49ers fan. I wouldn't let her root for the Jets, even if every Sunday she came over to me like, Daddy, let's watch the Jets together. Like, fine, I would do it, but I would not. I am not encouraging her to become a Jet fan. That is child abuse in some counties. So no, that's not what's gonna. I can't do that to. But maybe Ant's having that problem there. But then don't forget, you got your playbooks over at fantasyalarm.com/NHL.
Yes, make sure to check out my work, Josh Wagner's work as well. Excellent. You can sign up there. Great discounts. You can join the Discord as well. You can, say all the mean things you want to me. It's fine.
And also the Slapshot podcast. What do we got coming up there? What just came out?
Just came out because I had everything ready to go Wednesday morning, and then I woke up and I saw Jacob Fowler was coming to the NHL. So we took all of that, scrapped it, and then did another one. So lots to talk about Jacob Fowler and where did Montreal Canadiens go from here? What are they going to do with Jakub Dobes, right? You can't really, are they going to keep a 3-goalie rotation here if Fowler plays well? Is there a possibility that maybe, a little stint in the AHL for Dobes, kind of get his mind right, get him out of the city? What happens to Montembeault? Is he around? Can we maybe flip him for a first-round pick to the Edmonton Oilers because they need goaltending? I don't know. Lots of stuff. You'll have to tune in and listen to the absolute chaos that it is.
Don't ship him, Edmonton. Don't do that to do. So there we go. And then, of course, I've got Rip and Riff with myself and at Mr. Jared Moore coming at you on Mondays, talking plenty of NFL and some NHLs while we rip some packs of cards. Have a good time. Give you picks for the coming up week. Also, you can find my picks not on Wednesdays and Thursdays, because Thursdays you find them here. On Wednesdays, I give them out late Tuesday nights over at on Cashing Out on VSiN. But Friday through Tuesday, if I have any picks, you can catch them over at wizardsportspicks.com. Enjoy doing some handicapping over there. But that does it for this edition of Total Hockey Now. Cool. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you watching, whether it was live or later on. Please join us and give us your picks in the chat as well in the future. But back with you next Thursday, October. Wow, my brain is fried. December 18th, 5 o'clock Eastern time. Chris, I'm Adam, and Ant. Back with you soon.